What's up, Wolfpack? We are out here in the mountains of Canada, just north of Whistler, for the Fox Neo event. What is Neo? Is it Wi-Fi? Is it Bluetooth? Well, what it is 2 new shocks and a dropper post from Fox Factory Suspension. Let's dive into it and find out what this stuff's all about. Live Valve Neo is the name for Fox's new wireless protocol, boasting a 26 millisecond response time, 100 times faster than Bluetooth. You may have seen this in the new transfer post, but now Fox is bringing this tech to market in the form of the Flow X Neo shock, as well as the DHX Neo coil. I'm pretty skeptical about these kinds of things. I'd like to have control over the system. I am a techie person, but also at the same time, I don't know. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not paying attention. Oh, my nuts. Oh. The technology already taking me out. I am finding, though, that the transition, like we're stiff right now. And as soon as you hit that bump up around the corner, it definitely opens up. It firms up on sections like this, giving you some efficiency back. As soon as that front sensor feels something going on, she opens up and gives you traction. The system works by using a sensor on the front and rear brake caliper, delivering gyro data, allowing Neo to directly feel what the terrain is doing beneath you, 4 times faster than the blink of an eye. The system is purely an open and closed actuation on the damper, driven by a magnetically controlled solenoid that is almost completely silent. Within the app, you can choose parameters for how fast you want the system to respond, and on the shock, there is a compression dial to adjust how firm you want the lockout to be. There are endless tuning capabilities for those that really want to take a deep dive. All right, Jordi, so ride characteristics of this system on a air shock versus a coil shock. What can people expect? Is there a big difference in how the system interacts, or is it pretty synonymous with what you know a coil and an air shock to be?
I mean, basically there's no difference in the way the system functions. The performance of a coil is going to be the same. The difference is that you don't have the drawbacks of pedaling a coil, just because coils tend to be far more active or feel a lot more active than most air shocks. So with the Neo system, basically takes that away.
Can riders then start going outside their normal tunes of, hey, I can run less low speed compression because I know that shock is going to lock up, and then inverse, once you get to riding speeds, are those tune differences you're looking at going to play effect? I'm trying to get this question out of my brain, but it's not working very good. But
I get what you're saying. I think it really depends on who you're talking about, I guess. You can set it up 100% for descending.
Sure.
You don't have to worry about pedaling at all, because the shock's going to do that for you. So if you're taking into account pedaling performance, if you do a ton of tech climbing, you don't have to worry about that at all. You can run it purely set up for descending.
Okay, so definitely noticing a difference immediately with the firm lever engaged. And I guess one of the reasons why I'm doing so much of this on the climb is I think this is really where this product shines for me as a rider, getting all that advantage going up the hill. All right, big chunk. I see why they, oh goodness, see why they chose this route. Come on, Cole. Yo, where am I going? Hell yeah. Sick. Look at that. Cole, the technical climber now. I could definitely see how, this system on a coil shock, or you just want it to be real gushy, real firm, all in one. I think this is where it goes. Is super ideal. We were lucky enough to have Fox athlete Remi Gauvin on site at the test camp to talk about how the new Live Valve Neo system has helped him out in a race scenario. So, as far as a race application goes, do you remember the first race you used this shock on, and that switch from the Stone Ages to now the electronic ages?
Yeah. The first race I used it was Finale this season, and Finale was like super physical this year, like notoriously physical, I would say. And I think the biggest thing is just having the confidence that this platform would be faster. Like, you know, not having to ever lock out or unlock your shock in a stage. You know, in the past I would reach down and like maybe lock out the shock physically. Don't have to do that anymore. And I think just like, yeah, knowing that you're going to have a more efficient bike than your competitors on such a physical and like borderline like super D stages this year, they're really challenging. They were hard. So I think that was the main thing. Just like having that confidence that like you had a more efficient platform than your competitors was like a big help going into the race.
All right, we have Ariel here, Man Myth Legend. So I just asked you a question off camera.
Yeah.
Firm switch down here.
That one.
That's not high speed.
No. Yeah. So that's this firm switch right here is just going to dictate how firm a firm mode you have when it goes into its closed position. So if you like a really hard, firm, crisp lockout, you max it out. If you want it to be a little more smooth, a little more forgiving when it's in the firm mode and just have a nice pedal platform, 2-3 clicks open is a pretty sweet spot to be.
And the low speed is going to be
Low
your
speed
standard low speed.
Yeah, and low speed just is exactly what you said. It's only adjusting what the low speed compression in the open mode. So that's like a true low speed adjuster that you're used to.
All right, so there we have it. First ride done and complete on Fox's new Neo live valve system. First impressions, it rides like a shot going down, and it really gives you that platform going up in between the chunky sections. I definitely cleaned some stuff on climbs that I normally don't clean. I don't know if that is placebo of having that extra support there and wanting to get up out of the saddle and pedal into stuff, having that support down early without having to use a climb switch or go back and forth. As far as setup goes, it's quite easy to pair the bike, pair the sensors front and rear, and kind of experiment then with the tunes. I started in standard with the compression switch fully closed, and then went to firm and opened up that compression switch a little bit, and that was kind of my happy medium. There is going to be some downloadable tunes that you can choose from that will basically change the time it takes for that magnetic solenoid to open up and close in between those compression events. As with all shocks though, you need to start with a good base setup, get your sag setting, do your parking lot bounces, go on a few laps, test it out, make sure the shock is properly set up, and then start experimenting with that Neo system and changing the tunes that are available. For me, I'm really interested in trying this system on a coil shock. While it works amazing on an air shock, I think the coil shock is really going to be the move for those looking to have that small bump, and then when you need it on those climbs, it's going to lock out for you. No lever switching, nothing like that. As far as downsides go, there isn't a whole lot that really stick out to me. You can say like maybe this battery isn't the best looking out there, but you know, it's a price to pay for having such a good and fast system. There is more batteries to charge, more things to pay attention to. You know, the app, you don't need the app or your phone with you to actually utilize this system. Everything can be done on bike. If you are going to change tunes, you will need the access to that app, however. Overall, the fit, finish, feel, look, integration is all there. Fox definitely took their time to release this product. We've seen it for a number of years on spy shots, on athletes' bikes, and now finally making it to the consumer market. I think there is a lot of people that are really going to benefit from having this system on their bike. As we've only had one day on this system, it is by no means a long-term review. Stay tuned as we put a lot more time and a lot more miles on the Neo system, and hopefully on a coil shock as well. For more technical information about the inner workings of how the system actually works, go into the article on loamwolf.com to check it out. And until then, we'll see you out here on the trails.